okay.
Is that where you're moving?
I think Jay's gonna get a shop, and if that, we're gonna stay in that as long as we can in our house as long as we can. But if it sells, then there's a little apartment up above his new shop that we're gonna have to make do for a bit. So,
So exciting.
he's excited.
I bet.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how long he's excited
All
for.
right.
It'll be a good consolidation. So.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't remember laughing. You're not old.
Are we ready? Okay. I'm going to call this meeting to order. I'm going to start by taking roll from my left, please.
B.G. Zimmerman.
Alan Johnston.
Rob Delmas.
Elida Snow.
Ron Goodman.
Kristan Martin.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we are going to start tonight's meeting with student recognition. We are going to start with Cash Remp, who was actually a recipient last month, but he was sick. So, Mrs. Stern.
Do you guys want me to face you guys or them?
Can face them.
Okay. Cash is the youngest son of Jen and Andy Remp, and he has an older brother, Weston. His hobbies are, well, you won't find him in the house. All of his hobbies are outdoor, snowmobiling, dirt biking, hunting, fishing, or playing with RC cars. He also told me he has taken up pickleball with playing with grandma and grandpa too. So he's also doing that. I chose him because he exemplifies all the traits of a Roar student. Where he most stands out is his support to his classmates. He's the first to acknowledge when someone does something really good. He congratulates them, and he's also the first to offer any help. So that is why I chose him. So congratulations.
Okay, moving on, then we have Mrs. Boyd presenting Kyler Parrish.
All right. So I chose Kyler Parrish. I'm pleased to nominate him as Student of the Month. So he exemplifies Roar school-wide expectations. He sets a wonderful example for his peers. He's always helping. He loves to help out his peers and me a lot. He demonstrates respect, kindness, and inclusivity towards everyone. He is organized, considerate of others. Kyler is usually the first to complete a task, always exceeding expectations in reading, writing, and math. He loves writing in his journal. A lot of times asks, can I, at any free second, can I work in my journal? He has a great attitude. Which creates a positive atmosphere in our classroom. What stands out most is his responsibility. Kyler can always be counted on to do the right thing, even when no one's looking. So I'm proud to nominate Kyler for this well-deserved recognition. I know he will go on to do many great things. And he wants to be a zookeeper when he gets older.
Brandon. Okay, next we have Miss Carvey, Miss Winslow, and Mr. Britton for Taylor Brash.
We talked about this already.
It's tapering.
Taylor's a sixth grade student at Libby Elementary, and he joins us as his parents, his wife, and Ashland tonight. When asked to choose a student, he was quite an obvious choice. He exemplifies the positive attributes that we seek in our Roar learners. He's respectful, responsible, organized, and has a great attitude. His favorite class is noted as technology because they have cool devices. He is looking forward to workshop classes in the next building and is excited to build and create things there. When asked Taylor what he wants us to know about him, he wants us to know that he loves buses. He wants to build a bus shop someday soon, but especially he wants to get his bus running so that he can use it for the 6th grade field trip. That's all. Hope he doesn't build it in time. So one of the things he wants to do is sit down and talk to you about his bus shop. But when we talked, it took us about 30 minutes. So I opted for him just to tell me the story. He loves to build and do DIY things with his dad, such as working on his motorcycle and building a house, possibly in the future. He wants to be a school bus driver. He wants to own a 4 to 5 story drive-through bus shop that has a hotel, a motel, a restaurant, pool, and a hot tub. It'll have various sick bays and repair shops, and a spare bay for possibly spare buses. He's worried that college will get boring, so at this time he has yet to decide if he wants to go. I just noticed since preschool, this young man has made incredible growth. He's an amazing young man. He's grown tremendously over the years in resiliency, academics, perseverance, and of course, size. Taylor loves to talk about engines, cars, and trucks. His love for buses permeates most discussions. Today it was what was that? Your device that you held today? Phone? Some sort. It was a piece that came off of a bus. I hope we're not missing one. He said something about it being found in a junkyard. Do you have a line on it? That was it. His excitement was allowed to explore fractions and common factors, fractions and multiples is contagious. He loves to explore new ideas and problem solve the things he doesn't understand. He has given himself jobs in the classroom and shows great pride in his performance. He has taken on the role of what we call calendar police, timer, and monitor. He quickly and efficiently times students on their multiplication tables. He had to pass his just so he could apply for the job. And he's investigated my choice of ringtones on my alarm clock and has provided feedback on the tone, the name, and most often another alternative that would be less annoying, his words. He's witty, respectful, and hard learning, and we are really excited to see what the next stage of learning will bring. Ms. Ellis has been working with little man since
Preschool. I first met Taylor in preschool. He was barely talking, and he has just made such big strides to this fine young man who is really fun to visit with. And he's very social and always has a smile on his face. He's just great to have around.
We appreciate it. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Miss Ostrowski with Zoe Williams.
They weren't able to make it, so the parents are going to come to stay.
Okay, we can do that. Then Mrs. Holly with Haley Matthews. Oh, or Mr. Roisin. You don't look much like Miss Holly.
Yeah, so I'm our office managers, and they have nominated Haley for the Student of the Month for the high school. So Haley's a senior this year. She was nominated by the office staff. Haley's office 8. She's a wonderful person. She is respectful, responsible, and motivated. She always accepts tasks graciously, as well as finding her own tasks to complete in order to stay productive during slow moments. Her help in the office is beyond appreciated, and many people who frequent the office express how friendly and professional she is. Haley is a very kind soul. She always is smiling and showing kindness to her fellow peers. Haley is passionate about her hobbies and is not afraid to tell others what makes her happy. She frequently educates the office with her knowledge of farm life and the 4-H program. We look forward to hearing the scoop on her animals and their personality. We look forward to cheering her on as she graduates, but she'll be greatly missed. She's like a ray of sunshine in our school, and I can attest for her attributes. She's so friendly, so pleasant, just a great asset to the office for anyone coming into the office and helping out. I did meet her goose, Gertrude, Gerda this summer. Pretty awesome, what you can do with a goose. So, very well deserved, and congratulations, Haley.
Okay, at this time, we would ask that all the kiddos meet out in the hallway, and
Do we not get
they did not make it.
Ms. Weider? Hold on.
Oh,
Did I not put her name
no,
on?
you do not have her on here.
I'll have to give her this
Give her Zoe's.
to hold it, yeah.
Okay.
Get her the certificate.
Okay, got you.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry then, I did not realize, so,
My mistake.
okay. One more then.
Liz Weider, hold.
Liz Weiderhold, presented by Mr. Goodman.
Liz Weiderhold has been a student upstairs at the alternative school, and for the past, 3 to 4 weeks, she has become the very happiest student in the building, and we appreciate her very much. She smiles all over the place, and she encourages people, and she's working very hard. And so I just really appreciate the fact that Liz has just made an incredible change over the past few weeks, and we are so very proud of her. So thank you, Liz. Congratulations.
No, he's just pretending. Okay, now at this time, I think you're just gonna hold it for the picture, because we're gonna take a picture, and then he'll get you yours with your name on it. Is that okay? Okay.
We're gonna change your name.
If everybody could meet Mr. Goodman out in the hallway, we're gonna take some pictures.
Thank you.
We can blur it out maybe.
Maybe. I was just like,
Yeah, that's a
like,
bad idea. You? Okay. Oh, okay.
I know,
Okay, sure, we'd love to.
Like names or?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I know, I have pictures I keep meaning to send you guys too. I'll send it to Isaac to send to you.
Okay,
Awesome. Actually, give me your number, I don't trust him. Oh, okay. It's several times I thought about sending it to
Are we
you. and
leaning?
never make it. Oh, so, yeah. Let me to remind her. Hold on. Okay, yeah, we'd love that. Okay, yeah. When you get, that's Thursday, either Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, that's what we're going with Thursday. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I think Wednesday or Thursday, I don't know. My parents are gonna come, so I'll figure out if they're gonna be there too.
Okay, well, bring tea.
Oh, they won't be that. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I know we're still figuring it out.
Do you want me to scoot over?
Maybe we'll tell my gosh, it's like a year ago.
We did too. It's like, I don't even know where I'm paying.
I know. We never made the luckies for next year.
Okay.
Because there's still nothing, nothing.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun.
No,
It won't be the last. Do you guys get asked about your opinion on that quite a bit? Right? Would you guys get asked about? Last year I had a but
It's like nobody seems to know anything about it.
well, the ballots don't go out till the 6th.
Yeah.
Well, it says Isaac is looking, but he's not watching it yet, and so then the other day he actually
Yeah, because
takes.
they don't know. We'll see that.
Maybe we should not, just in case, he says that.
Well, and that's why I wondered if they would.
Yeah.
Well, I just could never remember that last one was a really late edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing
Yeah.
possibility.
I think that would be difficult.
Yeah.
So,
See what's sweet. Then she can rent it out.
so he's just going to rent.
If she's gonna be in Cedro,
I
it's gonna be in Cedro.
I mean,
That's
just-
expensive than most.
Oh,
Yeah, kind of like, I think the
there's
sun
not
will
right
rise in the morning.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
night.
so we'll see.
Usually that's, yeah. Very exciting, huh?
Moving on.
I know, aren't they though?
Yes, yes,
It's awesome.
yes.
Yeah, so we'll just be, touch base.
So that is all
That was good. All right, thanks, Alice.
Oh, yeah. Did a great job.
And I did. That's it.
Me, sorry. Oh, my goodness, I forgot Katie.
No, it's kind of like,
my gosh, Katie, I'm sorry, I forgot to text you. Charles is gone for the day and we were not able to meet. Okay. Oh, I forgot our vote number. Sorry. Okay, so moving on. At this time, I invite any member of the audience to briefly address the trustees on any issue not on the agenda. Okay, then we will be moving to the setting of the monthly meetings for May. So we have Monday, May 5th at 4:30, Monday, May 12th at 6:30. Just a heads up, I will not be at the May 12th one, and it will be Kriston's last one.
No.
I think it's only fair on her way out, right?
We could let you do that.
No, you could, but it probably wouldn't work out well for you.
So
I could say whatever
yeah.
I wanted.
Does anybody else? Well, everybody else, I guess, just checking in to be able to be at the May 12th meeting.
Plan to.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, moving on to the consideration of minutes. March 3rd, March 5th, March 10th, 2 of them. Yes, please.
We need a motion on the
Yes.
dates.
Oh yes, no, never mind. I'm sorry, I'm moving on. I was stuck on the agenda meeting. Okay, yes, we need a motion to set the monthly meetings for May.
I so move.
Second.
I have a motion by BG and a second by Ellen to approve the monthly meetings for May. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, moving on to the minutes then from March. Did you all get a chance to read them?
Yes. Yes.
Were there any corrections found? No? Okay, then I need a motion, please.
I move we accept the minutes from March 3rd for the agenda meeting, March 5th, Building and Grounds Committee, March 10th, Building and Grounds Committee, March 10th, regular board meeting.
Second.
I have a motion by BG and a second by Rob to approve the March meeting minutes as listed. Any questions or comments? Motion, or all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, budget and finance.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
you, my
Sorry
dear.
about that. That's my calendar. Okay. Trustees financial report, March 2025. I'm making a motion that we approve this, by the way. Total is $1,141,339.86. Approved warrants are 17487 through 17564, and there are no voided warrants.
Second.
I have a motion by Kriston and a second by BG to approve the March's trustees financial report as listed. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, moving on to the leadership team. Who wants to start tonight? Mr. Beagle, let's start with you. Nobody raised their hand.
Maybe. It's getting there.
That's all that happened.
How do I get it to get
I
well, Google's having issues on this laptop, so it might just be this.
Yeah. You can skip that. Again, that's just our attendance. Give or take, we're losing one kid a week and gaining one kid a week. This kind of seems to be the balance. One goes, one comes back, and right now it seems like we have people that are just coming, that left, now they're coming back for the second time. So numbers are staying pretty accurate. Next slide. So just again, we know spring gets busy. I'm not even talking sports stuff, just this month and the beginning of May, just some stuff we have going up. Next week, our kids will be taking their ACT, juniors will be testing in the gym. Thursday, the kids head over to the job fair. We're taking all of our seniors over there. The workforce festival that we have over here at the Memorial Center the following week, just assemblies coming up. The educational outreach one is one with the Heritage Museum with Mr. May. We have a pep assembly to kind of celebrate our spring activities and kind of a midterm of fourth quarter, and then we get into our senior awards, things for that kind of stuff in May. So just kind of a lot of stuff going on, and it seems like every week there's 2 or 3 things going on that just kind of keeps everybody focused and busy. So it's all good stuff. Next. Just real quick, I need to throw out a huge shout out to both our band and our choir. I know you guys saw the stuff. A couple weeks ago they were in Seattle. Kids went down there, and the group they were in came back with the gold rating, which is the highest that they can get. One of our students came away with, one of the single honors. So just always excited to celebrate any of our kids doing well. But the band, and they just went to Kalispell last Friday, Saturday. Came back with multiple excellence, superior ratings. Mr. Lewis, for a first-year band teacher, is absolutely phenomenal, and just talking to him about just his desire to want to keep building and building and building is really encouraging, just to see that kind of a young person who's excited about wanting to teach and just doing great things. So just need to give them a huge shout out. They don't get, and again, the playing at all the sporting events and they really do. I mean, I've been in a lot of gyms over the years, and our national anthem, I think, ranks as the best, if not one of the best, of any of the schools that we go to. So
They sounded good.
and really with the low number of kids the guy went, we got tons of kids. He does an exceptional job. So got to give him a huge shout out. The next slide, I think, is our choir. Again, Lorraine has been around for
2 years.
Longer than Ron and I have. But again, she took her kids down to the same, the district music festival. You can see that, but 18 of our kids competed. 15 of them walked away with superiors. 3 walked away with ratings of 2. And then overall, we got a superior just for the whole number of kids that we had. And that's coming with, one of our kids that got like a perfect score, got in an accident like the week before, was in a wheelchair and then trying to but really wanted to go. And then another one passed out in the morning in her bathroom and she wasn't going to go. And then she cried enough that her mom didn't drag her over there because she wanted to compete. And so it really meant a lot to those kids. And again, every year they show up and they're competing with the best of kids around the Northwest, and they're scoring superior. So I need to give both our music department a shout out that they don't get nearly the credit that they deserve. So make sure they get that. Again, just some pictures. The top 2 up on the left are just Mr. Pat does in our function room, he does a greenhouse. So they've been planting and growing their plants all winter. And then coming up here in a couple of weeks, they actually do a plant sale. They sell their plants, and it's kind of a fundraiser. And the kids spend just a lot of time doing all the planting and watering and taking care of the plants. So it's just kind of a neat hands-on project that they do. Upper right, our advanced English juniors did their own fundraising. You guys approved it. They went and saw Hamilton on Friday. Said they had an absolutely fantastic time. They loved it. Left at 2:00 in the afternoon and got back at 3 in the morning. So it was a long trip for them, but I think it was a great experience. And then the 2 on the bottom are just the trip to Seattle are the kids that just went there and got gold rating in Seattle. Again, great trip to Seattle, minus their bus breaking down on the way home and extending their stay another 3 hours. But they did get home. So just proud of all the things that are going on. Just real quick to jump titles on you. The preschool, we had our day and a half testing. As of right now, we've tested 36 students. 33 of them are qualified. And if you guys don't know, in order to qualify, you have to fail. So the test that we give, we have to show that there is a literacy need. So 3 of the kids basically got, 100% on the test that we give. So right now we're sitting at roughly 36 kids that we'll be looking to enroll for next year. So those are full classes.
I was gonna say, we take 38, right? That's
Yeah.
max.
Yep. And then I'm actually meeting with the Head Start director. We're meeting tomorrow to talk about some things, but they're still concerned that they don't have the funding yet for next year.
Yeah.
And if they don't, there is I don't want to have this conversation. There could be a conversation of needing a third preschool next year to pick up the rest of the kids that Head Start. Because we cannot deny the enrollment. We can't say we're full. So if we get 50 kids, we have to serve 50 kids. So she thinks they'll get it, but I'm going to talk to her tomorrow to see what she really thinks in case we need to start doing some planning in case. So we kind of have a game plan. I don't think that'll be the case, but I don't want to get caught off guard in the 1st of August and, hey, congratulations, you have another, 15 4-year-olds.
Right.
So just so you guys know that, just to give you something to sleep on at night.
They don't have any idea when they're gonna know for sure.
I'll know tomorrow when I talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll find out tomorrow. So. And then just sped stuff again. We've had a couple of Zoom meetings where we're just kind of doing some training with OPI, get ready for our sped audit for next year. Again, just looking at doing some transition meetings. We have a few kids, one at the elementary, one at the preschool, that we're going to kind of transition up for a few hours a day in May, so up to their buildings, start getting them acclimated. And Garth Eagle comes down for our last visit in a couple weeks. And then obviously we have our speech pathologist position opened up. And I found one, and we've been looking for one for 4 or 5 years, and now I have two applied, which I was happy to get one. So you just never know.
Patient
You had 2 apply?
2 applicants.
That's amazing.
So,
We've never had 2 apply.
I've never had one.
Well, I was gonna say.
We hire them both and then negotiate.
So we're going to range it for is and 2, and
Rhythm out.
one's a Libby girl that are kind of looking to relocate back here, and the other one's been working for us a little bit, so already, so kind of exciting. So I think that's it.
Could we
Questions?
use 2?
What?
Could we use
I
2?
could use 3, but Scrooge over here won't give me that extra money. So
Yeah. I just was mentioning it.
just any questions about anything going on at the high school? Any questions? Comments? Okay. All yours, Mr. Machine.
Okay, that first slide is what you see in the past, just a quick thing from the Swiss program. Last year, this year, the top one, well, that's small print. Location, last year, this year, it really hasn't changed a whole lot. Classroom courses, the high area where the referrals come from. The bottom was the time. You got some peak times there that I think have been pretty consistent throughout the year, and mostly getting down to that one. The afternoon was kind of during elective middle school time, where I would say if we get 10 referrals, 8 are from middle school, 2 from high school, maybe on average, sometimes there's more or less, but that's kind of a breakdown. And then there's one day of the week. Last year, this year. This year it's kind of spread out, whether it's good or not, or kind of equally balanced. Last year, and then the bottom one is by grade, again, very peculiar. A typical year is what looked last year, looked from 7th grade, and then it just decreases all the way to 12th. This year, our freshmen have outperformed our 8th graders as far as referrals. So that freshman class, they're a little higher, more referrals in 8th grade. Pardon me, our 9th graders is more than 8th grade. That's just a quick glimpse of like when our tier teams meet. Our tier 1 meet once a month. The behavior mentoring team consists of a handful of teachers, school leadership team, handful of teachers once a month. Tier 2 teams are broken down, and the 2 tier teams actually got an outline this past week to have the kind of guide as they go through their meetings, looking at tier 2 kids who they want to address and and look for interventions. And the tier 3, again, we meet once a week, Tuesday mornings. Pizza was the prize for the winners. And I don't think the 12th graders lost. I don't know. I don't know. Just last year, player I can compare it to, they rarely won. This year, there's 12th graders, that's percentage. And the last 4 weeks of third quarter, 7th graders taught the 8th graders. And so they got a slice of pizza. This is just a quick little data on Halo 3 sensors. I kind of updated. I got a little behind on what was happening this year, but you can see when, so all the bathrooms in the high school have sensors. When they were installed, first two came in last, right after Christmas, is kind of when they went online, January 23rd. Those were the only 2 bathrooms for the whole year, so approximately 4 months, last 4 months of the school year, 64 kids in the boys, 63 in the girls. So those 2 bathrooms quite high. And then you can see it over to the right. Those 2 bathrooms over a 7-month period really decreased. I mean, our numbers have definitely decreased, and that's, you know, I can't compare apples to apples because we haven't gone through the last 12 months of this year, but it's just, you know, they're deciding. I think it's a good deterrent, and they think twice about going in there for sure. And then the art ones, and when they went online, those 2 bathrooms or the middle school online, and then on February 2nd, you know, all the bathrooms had them, and yeah, I mean, it's I think it's helped deter. We're not seeing the high numbers like we did the first 4 months when the first 2 bathrooms had them, but. And the bottom it just says that 22 students have taken the first day education class. So, and letters goes home phone call. There have been 2 students who've had big call twice, and so they've taken the second vape class.
What happens on a third time?
Same as the second. If the vape is in hand, they get an MIP. The second time they would too. Usually, I mean, depends how much they search. Most likely, if it's on them, it's in their underwear or bra. If it's not on them, you know, and I don't really go that detail. I mean, we have a metal thing you can go through. I just empty your pockets, and you know, but they're, I mean, they're smart enough to, like today, in the boys' middle school bathroom down there, it was a high school kid because they're in the room, and they had a choice to. No, they're in Miss Journey's classroom, math class, and she teaches a high school class. So it's the middle school maybe. So they went to the closest bathroom. They went to that bathroom. And he came in, Mr. Beagle brought him in, and of course he denied it, so I was talking to him. And as soon as he sat on the toilet, he could see the light. The new ones have a light that goes off. So I don't really like. Green is vape, nicotine. Another one could be like aggression or sound level that goes above. So he came out, Miss Johnson, because all of the teachers nearby that wanted to, goes to, you know, helps us out. She was waiting for him. And he brings up, okay, I'm so cool. Did you vape? Nope, I don't vape. My parents do, I don't want to, I don't want to be a part of that. Okay, well, let's just take a look at the film just to make sure there's no one else that came in or out. Obvious it was him. I said, just from the video, we're gonna have to take, I'm gonna have to call him and you're gonna take the class, empty your pockets and have it on him. So as I call him, I'm talking to mom, I had mom on speakerphone. And told him what happened. And oh no, he vapes. And I told him never to bring to school. And I'm looking at him, you know, of course he lied to me. And after I finished talking to her, so this is what happened. So I go, you know, why did you lie? He goes, I just feel embarrassed. I want people to know. Okay. All right, well, you're taking the class, and it's the first time, you know, like even the first time we had it in hand. You know, we're not trying to nail them the first time and trying to give them some help. So, yeah, I'm taking the class tomorrow at lunchtime. Some things for athletics, Dave, you can jump in there too. Just total participants we had so far this point. And then I just reminded, you know, what I do every Wednesday, that athletic eligibility check every Wednesday. We expect them to have an average of a 2.0 GPA, but not more than 1 F. And in that first week, if they don't meet expectation, probation means they can still do everything. They got a week to get it up, second week, if it doesn't happen, then they sit out a week. It just goes week to week. Nick, you wanna talk about that one?
Yeah, I had this one, but unfortunately I can't see that far anymore. This one was next year, MHSA has bought Dragonfly for all the schools the past 3 or 4 or 5 years. They are switching it to Arbiter, so it's gonna be a different platform, which I'm just now starting to get training on it, but the biggest problem with Dragonfly, it's not user friendly. It's really hard to use unless you're on a computer. So Arbiter is definitely an improvement from what I've seen. It's able to track quite a few things. Kids obviously register, you do your physicals, code of conduct, all of those things on it. The sports schedule part of it's really nice. It will combine it with my Google Calendar and it will upload. So right now I have to upload to Google Calendar, I have to upload Dragonfly, I have to upload to NFHS, you have to upload a calendar to all those. So when something changes, you have to change all of them. They're starting to streamline them so they all work together, which will be really helpful for us. It also has the ability to track eligibility, and I'll have Mark's gonna get to learn how to do that. But so kids, students, and coaches can all click on it and see current GPA of kids. And I'm not sure it works with Infinite Campus, but I think that would be super helpful. You can assign officials through it. So Libby Pool's a little different. Libby Pool doesn't use Dragonfly to assign officials, but our soccer officials, which come from the Flathead, will all be assigned to this Arbiter. And we can actually pay them through them, but we probably won't do that. We'll probably continue with what we do. So, and it's neat. The website has a link to NFHS, has a link to GoFan, so you can buy your tickets online. It's a newer system. I'm a little scared to tell parents they have to learn another system because Dragonfly's been kind of a nightmare. But this one, by everything I've seen, looks way easier and way better.
Parents swear and then get out of town.
Yeah. Go. I have a meeting tomorrow in Kalispell. There's a lot of discussion to change middle school girls volleyball and middle school girls basketball, change the seasons. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, but it could be a big change for us.
Is that because they can play both sports?
There's multiple reasons. The main reason the meeting was called was because of official shortages. During basketball season, they can't get officials in the Flathead Valley to cover the middle school games.
Really?
So that's the big drive. But now with the new rule, the 8th grade rule, this scares me a little because if we get to the point where Libby, for example, which Troy's already doing, they bring 8th graders up to play high school. Now they're gonna play a middle school basketball season, a high school basketball season, and not get volleyball. So I don't like that. I think kids gotta do everything at that age. But it'll be an interesting conversation tomorrow to see where it goes. Yes.
With the shortage of referees, officials, are they thinking about going back to 2 instead of having 3?
The only time you have to have 3 is a varsity game.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'll go back, unfortunately.
Wow.
I don't. I think that is gonna stick. And they're actually pushing to have 3 for freshmen in JV, but it's getting voted down a lot. It just costs us more money.
Does that have anything to do with the way the crowd is reacting? That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah, but they put in the new rules now. If I kick Mr. Delmas out of the basketball game, he can't go to the next 3. That's a new MHSA rule. So I think that could also help and maybe steer it the other direction. I just like the fact that he wants somebody to bleach and say, here's your warning. If I come up again, you're gone for the next 3. I think that packs a little punch, which is good.
I think it's also just people don't want to do it. I mean, it's, let those millennials, just 20, 30-year-olds just aren't getting into rugby like we live in.
It's just a change.
I think there's a lot of people that seem interested in it, the game.
There's a lot of.
It's not that hard a sport to officiate.
I think we're very fortunate in Libby with our pool. It's a small pool, but they do a phenomenal job of covering everything we ask them to cover. I mean, this year we brought officials over from Kalispell because they were covering Knoxon and Troy the same night.
Yeah.
So we're very fortunate here, but the Flathead is struggling. They're having.
Is it because there's so many games?
I think so.
Is that, and they just so much going on all the time?
So they're really looking at changing, Flathead also opens games on Saturday, so that's something they might have to change. You know,
Yeah,
versus
hello.
basketball games on Saturday, but, so there's a lot to go into that meeting tomorrow, but I was just putting that up there because that could be a big change for us if it gets voted in. I'm voting no.
I was gonna say, but you're leaning towards not, correct?
Yep. It would really help my travel basketball team though, I will say that, however. The last thing up there, we're putting together our summer workouts already. That link, if you can click on it or not, but all of our coaches have had access to a shared doc that will, and they're getting all their summer plans laid out for everybody. So we're working on now times we're gonna open the weight rooms, but all the open gyms are set. We have a lot of basketball camps in town this summer. We have some football things already spilled out, so just an update that we're moving forward with all that stuff.
Okay. The end. Thank you, all three of you. Okay, Ms. Skidwell.
Okay, attendance, we are up 13 students since pretty much last month and down 6. Attendance is back up. Kindergarten's at 93.55, which is, and for this month, they're at 94.06. So that is a much needed rebound in our attendance. And across the board, we were a lot higher starting beginning of April. So that's a good change of pace.
So we are in the midst of the third window of our mass testing. I just have to get a shout out to all of our grade level teachers, 3 through 6, who have done a fantastic job of integrating that into just the regular classroom. And it's really much less of a disruption than the old SBAC test was. And the data is timely. So we're already using the data. We're already seeing great improvements in this third round of testing in math, especially. It's good to see those class level reports coming in with much more green. So band 3 level where they're proficient. So I think it's a good addition that the state's decided to go the through-year testing. It also helps with our SLT. We used the data last month to talk about our continued improvement cycle. We noticed that we really need to focus on how do we build stamina with independent reading and independent writing. Because that's where the struggle is. There's been a lot of we do and support, and not that the support goes away, but you've got to give kids the opportunity to think and work independently. And so we've seen an increase across the campus with that. So it's exciting.
Any problems that you've seen? I mean, as far as,
With masks?
yeah, as far as like how implementation, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I just appreciate that comments because
Yeah,
I think it's a great
like
idea.
I said, our teachers have done a really good job of just building it into the current blocks, the math block and the reading block. They've also done a really good job of making sure that if kids missed it on the initial day that it was given, you can give it as long as testing environments are simulated. So maybe when other kids are doing exact path, you can do mask makeup within your classroom. So it's not very disruptive overall.
That still happens, like as a school, they all test on the same day, right?
It's not necessarily
No,
the same day.
It can be varied.
So that's why if you go back to that schedule, you'll kind of see there's different tests and even a different number of tests that might be given based on how many math assessments, because there's a total of 15, but grade levels have the opportunity to pick when the various strands will be tested throughout the year. So in some windows, there might be only 3 math testlets. In another window, there might be 6, so on and so forth. So there's a little bit of flexibility as far as the grade level goes to align it to their scope and sequence and pacing guide.
Okay.
Yeah. So continued instruction, there's just, I think the student buddy system, and I think Tom's going to talk about that later, where we have the literacy partners, It's really blossomed. Even they read together. Some of the grade level classes, the teams have done math together. It's just been a really good partnership to bolster instruction. And this was an example, the picture on the left, Mr. Chumley actually was very clever in having that student use, he wanted to build with those blocks because those blocks are magnetic and you can do all kinds of cool stuff. And Mr. Chumley did a good job thinking on the fly and helped the child use those that are in reference to the math. So it was a really good aha for the activity. So we've had some family and community engagement. Glacier Bank has come and talked to a couple of grade levels about money and saving and all of that good stuff from the lens of a banker. And our Read Across America was well attended by our first grade families. And then fifth grade students, there was a guest author that came in. They had read one of his books and he came to talk to the kids, and the kids had so many great questions for him. It was cool to see. And then fourth grade hosted a family math night that was also a big success. So this is just the yearly progress. This is the second year that we have instituted Student Voice, which is like a student council. Last year, Mary Miller and I got it off and running off the ground, and it has continued this year under the leadership of Dr. Brittany Katzer. And so this is just an overview of everything that they've done this year. You can see there the mission of the Libby Elementary School Student Voice team is to work as a group to share voices and ideas of our student body for the betterment of our school. So this kind of gives you a timeline from beginning of the year to they're about to have their celebration of their successes. So the introduction to Student Voice, there were speeches that the kids had to write. They had to do those with their class before the election. And then there was a team building and setting goals, expectations for the school year. And that's how they launched. And then earlier this year, they came and met you guys as well.
And they did a nice job that night.
They did.
It was fun.
Mm-hmm. And we continue to have what we call the voice boxes, which were what the team launched last year. And so the student voice reps went into all grade level classrooms to remind students of what the voice boxes were for, where they were located in the pods. And so it, again, was something that continued this year where grade level kids could put their ideas into the voice box for the team to talk about. Student voice reps also created, focused on bullying prevention. So they noticed that bullying concerns were frequently reported in the voice box slips. So presentations were created collectively by the kids in Student Voice, and then they were presented to each grade level, including some of our high-need classrooms, such as the Emotional Growth Center.
Does anyone see that big cowboy gun?
Pretty cute.
Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, we have some of those.
Yeah.
Also, we noticed that we were having some common issues in our restrooms. There was some vandalism that was happening, just a high number of traffic, a high traffic rate. I don't know, like just a kind of revolving door out of classrooms into restrooms, too many kids in there at once. So they, again, put their heads together and collaborated on how do we talk to our student body about bathroom expectations. So they did a really good job of going back into the classroom and going over those teach-tos and what needed to happen so that there weren't restroom problems.
I think this is so cool that the kids are doing it and you adults aren't. I mean, you know, they have guidance, but because they're going to listen to their peers.
Most of the time.
But they do. I should qualify this.
So another focus was, it was actually our PBIS team that came up with the new universal called Regulation Station. So we applied for a LOR grant and were able to get that LOR grant. And so every classroom now has a regulation station that includes the same type of chair, the same type of fidgets, a timer, and then a little expectation. You do this first, second, third. And so once we got all that together, again, our student voice teams put together presentations to introduce the concept of regulation stations to the classrooms, talk about the Teach To that was developed, show the tools, and even role play how to use the regulation station and what the expectations were. So I think it's been a great addition. You know, some teachers are a little gun shy still, but they're coming around. It's a great tool.
The slants up there?
Yeah. And part of it too is to just, you know, build team with one another and build leadership skills. So it's not always work necessarily that they do. I mean, although this is work, they just don't know it. In building those leadership skills and being able to work together to problem solve on the different fun activities, it still takes teamwork and effort.
What ages was it again?
3 through 6 or 4 through 6.
4 through 6.
I think it was going to add 30.
And how many do we have involved?
Oh, I think there should be a class rep from every class, so that would be 12.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just some ideas for next year. They want to take attendance. Meetings they meet during lunch on the first Friday of every month. Have student voice attend school leadership planning meetings like PBIS or SLT. And then have an end of the year survey for students to give feedback on how they can improve. So that's to come before the end of the year. So that was just to showcase our student voice and the continued growth of that.
Student discipline, definitely on the uprise in April. 43 events for moderate in March, 117 in April.
Oh,
It's been a busy month.
spring fever.
Spring fever is it. 13 in Defiance last month, 33 this month. On down the list, 68 in the classroom. Kindergarten has been the hot classroom at the moment, 44 events in kindergarten.
However,
It's 3 to 4 students.
It's limited, so
Yes.
there's intervention plans
Yes,
that are.
absolutely. We're working on it, and the teachers are doing a wonderful job at keeping all the documentation for it. It was crazy. Wednesday, again this month, but also Tuesday and Wednesday were tied with 27 each. Not Thursday, which was our big one in the past. After 11, there were 77 after 11 in the morning.
Okay.
Recess time on.
So they wake up.
Correct.
I felt crabby those days too. I mean, seriously.
So males are 88 of them, girls. I mean, 2 months, was it?
Are those different than
was
Maylee's?
February, they were really high as well. In fact, they were in the 30s in February, and now back up to 29 for April. Very interesting. Major events from 32 to 82. A lot of major events. Janine and I have been super busy. Consisting of 87 students. Big on abusive and inappropriate language. There are a lot of other little events, but for the most part, it's pretty chronic behavior. And I would say probably less than 5% of the students most of them are involved with.
What was that last part, Tom?
5% of the student body is about what is involved in the major referrals.
And many of them are already on the
Behavior
behavior safety plan.
Correct.
there are interventions that are in place. It's just, some kids struggle more than others.
It's
Well, spring has sprung.
definitely spring has sprung. Last week, I didn't know if I was on foot or horseback, pretty much all week. I finished one and I had another one waiting outside my office for me, so. Yeah. Even Janine was doing extra duty on behavior, so it was an interesting week. Updates for, there's our luncheon. One thing that we're doing this month is normally we get about 24 to 28. This month we pushing the teachers to hit 50 positive referrals.
We're 22 right now.
So we got a ways to go yet.
It's only 14 minutes.
We're halfway through. PBIS updates, some positives there. Definitely students of the month. PBIS committee water fight will be on June 4th, 2:15 to 2:45. Class participation via reading across the grade levels. We're going to continue it next year. We want to get it even earlier in the year. It has become a very nice program. All the teachers are talking about it and working from like 6th graders to first and 6th graders to kindergarten. It's put some positive kids with some, making those changes. Hopefully we can get some good behaviors out of it. 2 classrooms have had 80 days of perfect attendance and had ice cream socials. Mrs. Rojohn's and Mr. Flores' class are above 80 perfect days. So that's something to be proud of. Parent council updates, Teacher Appreciation Week is May 5th through the 9th. The new reader board, you'll see it, I believe, on the next slide. It's going in. Winner has been selected. We do have a new fundraiser. It has been the talk of campus today, Kickball versus Gallagher. Coins in a bucket, and the one with the most coins gets pies in the face.
My daughter asked if it's the most money coins or the most coins.
Most money.
Most fun.
Oh, no wonder she has quarters.
And they tend, right now, I think I'm about 3 to 1.
Yeah, you're
Plus a $5 bill in one of them. I'm like, oh.
3 to 1 on which side, Tom? Are you ahead or behind?
Oh, I'm way ahead. I'm going to be getting pies, but that's okay. Yeah.
Do you get to choose the flavor?
It's just gonna be a
Wait.
ready with.
Oh, darn.
Burger face otherwise. You're stinking up ready. I've done it.
I'll buy the pies.
Yeah.
Thanks, Scott.
Then peach, that's peach and chocolate.
Oh. Be red in the face now. All right, go ahead and go to the next one. The new reader board construction is taking place. It was done this morning. It is all day. It's well in progress. In fact, it was up and running as I was leaving campus.
So it's working, it's finished? The
We
installation?
don't have any messages on it yet.
They've got to come back
But
Wednesday.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Libby Elementary sign is back in there as well. So it's, yeah. I had to go back and turn the power back on.
Will you have to learn how to use the program? Is it a new?
I can use it from anywhere is what they're telling me.
Okay.
Well, it's web-based, so you log in and it's easy.
The old one, I had to stand underneath it. And it was fun.
And to end our 6th grade spring band performance, really has our students showing group. So I think there will be one more performance in May, before they head up to the middle school. Cool. Yeah. I loved how he moved the performance to the stage. It's so much more streamlined and it's easier to see the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed with his choice with that.
He does a phenomenal job of getting kids in front of people.
Yeah.
Like even
More
like,
professional.
football game, so he walks them down on the track.
Yeah.
Yes.
Better,
Okay, is that it? All right, thank you guys. Mr. Goodman.
Hey, Stacy, can you send the last one? I sent another one to you, an email. I made a change. If not, it's fine.
what do you want to do?
The later of the presentations.
He sent you two.
I said,
Me too.
check your email. There we go.
I don't know if it wants to open, you have to go down and open there. That one.
There it is. Maybe. Google's not working on this laptop. Gotta look, Ron.
If not, I can read it.
Open at the bottom. That's the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. I
Well,
have-
the old one, she's got the old one up already.
Yeah, that's fine. Here's the old one. Parent communication, one of the nice things about Parent Square is that it gets corrected. So over the years and over the months and weeks, people leave, obviously, and people have emails and phone numbers that change. We're 99% contactable at this point, so that is just a great way of reminding everybody to keep everything in the good going. And again, I'm just looking at the numbers of information that's being sent out. High school sent out, 233. Elementary school sent out 652. There's just a ton of communication taking place. And one of the things that surprised me is the amount of information coming back to me. So when I send things out, people can communicate back, and that's been actually pretty good. So next, charter school information. One of the things that we're working on right now is we're going to have 40 plus kids next year. And so what we really need to have kids trained on is being able to do small group instruction. And so that is what's taking place here. They're doing math games. And instead of having kids working on credit recovery, we also want to be having kids in small group settings where there is learning taking place in small groups instead of individual tutoring, basically. So we're just really moving towards that. So small group instruction, of course, the use of Edmentum that we can facilitate. We're never going to have enough teachers to make sure that we have an English teacher, a science teacher, a math teacher. So that is, we're going to be using Edmentum, and again, trying to use Edmentum in small groups instead of individual. I think that's just going to be a better plan for everybody. We've been working on budgets and staffing decisions and starting to work in that direction. I feel pretty optimistic. We have some people that have applied for part-time positions, and I think it'll be a nice fit for teachers who have retired in the past, and I just think that'll be really great. Letter D, the Rural Behavior Health Institute. We are looking to use that. The RBHI has online counseling, and it also has a screening tool. So once we go ahead and screen people, we can also progress monitor. So if students are dealing with whether troubles they have, anxiety, depression, and so we can actually see if they've grown, if they are getting better, if they are less anxious, less depressed, that kind of business. These are all part of the goals of the charter school. We want student performance, both emotionally, academically, and attendance-wise. These are benchmarks that we're going to have to show, and in order to maintain our status as a charter school. So here we are. We're trying to make things take place now so that we have those pieces in place. The Rural Behavioral Health Institute, people there are really easy to work with, and the cost of RBHI is nothing. It's free. And so I'm just hoping it's going to be a very, very good tool for us. And so, yeah, measuring mental health, accomplishment within their system, and measuring social emotional as part of the requirements. Next slide. Facilities. Nobody's laughing here.
I'm sorry.
No. Well, this is really great. It's a super event taking place. We have aluminum decking on the oh gosh, that would be the west side of the football field, and we will never have to replace that unless something major happens. It won't decay, it won't rot, it won't rust, and that's just been really great. I think it looks really good, and it's a long-term event taking place. The other things that are taking place is we're supporting other boards. If you've ever jumped up and down, actually you probably haven't, because nobody's that silly to do that, because it feels like you could go through. And so those are going to be supported. And then last, I'm just going to tell a little joke on myself. I saw this text come through. There was, well, never mind. You can ask me later. I'm not going to say that on the recording. Anyway, bottom line, it's going to be a really great upgrade for us, and it's not just for making it look better, which is really great. I'm in favor of that as well. But there is some serious safety issues that are being checked off and making it more safe for everybody. It's not just about appearance, but I think we're going to get a win-win out of this. It'll be really great for us, and very, very reasonable as far as cost.
I think you're gonna have to paint a handrail because the decking now looks so pretty.
I know.
I'm like,
I actually thought about that as far as before we put the aluminum on, I hose it down, but yeah, I think that's just, I was looking at that on Sunday, and the grass is green. I just think Lake Water Stadium looks super, and I just think it looks great. So next slide. Mill levy update. We have mill levy coming in. The ballots have to be turned in on May 6th. What are we going to do with it? What are we going to do with the money if we get it? Now, obviously, it has to pass, but it is for major facilities and support operational costs. And I have two ways. I've sent this out to all the staff. Of course, we can't promote it. We're just giving information. But I two ways to talk about this. The roofing cost. We have about 6 acres of roofs in Libya School District, and the easiest way for me to explain this to people is at the elementary school, all the pods are the same size. And each one of those pods costs to replace a roof would probably be somewhere between $400,000 and $500,000. That's a lot of money. We're going to be refurbishing one roof at the elementary school. It's not your pod, it's the brown pod. Brown pod is the worst one. They had it mixed up. And it's saturated, and they will cut that saturated insulation out, and then they will replace it with dry insulation, and then they'll put EPDM over the top of it, and then they will put new urethane across the whole roof. That's a 20-year warranty, and it's 45% of the cost of putting a new roof on. So if we can stay ahead of things and not let it be too behind, we can save, really, it's like 2 for the price of 1. And I can tell you there are a lot of roofs that are going to be over the next 3, 4, 5 years that if we keep on track of that would be very good. We're looking for $250,000. We're not saying we're going to do a roof every year, but we need to be doing some of that much more frequently than we have. The middle high school, we don't know this. A lot of people know this. We had an infrared study that was done on it last year. So at night, like midnight, they get up on top of the roof and they take infrared pictures, and that is where the water's at. There are a lot of roofs on the middle high school that are also saturated with water in small pockets. So there's just the only thing more expensive than not fixing things, and fixing things is not fixing things. And so this really, the ballot in my mind, that whole issue of the roofs, it's not just roofs, it's also parking lots, it's also the ability to put lights in our parking lots. That'd be a great thing. And so again, this is if we had this money for the next, 20 some years, I think you're going to see facilities that look much better and are functioning better as well. So that's my story on how we talk about, the actual property itself. But the other thing is operational costs. And the easiest way to explain that to people is this. We know that operating things are more expensive after COVID. That's just reality. But one of the things that has been really tough is the increased property and liability insurance. Over the last 5 years, that has increased by $106,000. So every year we have another $106,000 that we have to pay for, and that is an 80% increase. And I don't see it slowing down. So I look at this and say, if we can generate some more funds, I think that would just be very well served in our district. So estimated cost, I like my favorite one is a house with a market value of $100,000. That's going to be a tough. There's not very many people that have a $100,000 house anymore. But that would be $15 each year. So we're talking for that person with a $100,000 house, you're talking a little over $1 a month. So that's kind of not too bad. And then a house with market value of $300, that's $47.48 each year. So again, we're talking $4 a month on that. And so that doesn't seem too much to me. And then a house with a $600,000 market value is $94.95. So again, it's not a ton of money from the perspective of another $4 a month or something like that. Doesn't seem like big a deal. But I also understand that property taxes have gone up and everybody's feeling that pinch. So that is the deal. And we've got a newspaper report in both the papers, and we're going to be sharing that information in Parent Square. And there's just any way that people can share it. That information is just exactly what we want to share. Any questions on the levy? Not everybody at once.
I don't think so.
Was there a percentage that we can ask for, right? And we're way under that percentage, right?
Oh,
I don't know if I said that right, but there's a total amount each school can ask for, and we are way lower than.
We're not super low.
We're not super low. I don't know if that'd be something we're sharing, like really, we are running below what we can.
Oh, as far as the actual operating budget?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know, I just think that.
So this is a good point, and Stacy, correct me. This is what you have to spend the money on what you're saying you're going to use it for. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to use this for maintenance and those facilities, which I think we could use that. But the other issue, this is permanent. This is going to take place.
When we first discussed this, there was an amount, like a certain number of mills we could ask for or something. And when we came up with 250, I remember the same way, it being pretty low compared to what we legally could ask for. I don't remember what that number was, but it was, I'm sure it was a lot more.
I was
like
really
$1 million or
surprised.
something, wasn't it?
That's what
It's like
that might be something to get out there.
Yeah.
We're not asking for.
Yeah, we could ask.
Yeah, we're not asking for the moon.
Yeah.
Well, and you think in terms of general budget, we're $2 million lower than our maximum that we could carry.
And I think that's information you
Yeah.
need to know.
So I guarantee you there are other schools out here that are running on the max budget.
Yeah.
When I was in Circle, we ran on the max budget, but if you didn't, it was a small school. There's no way it would work. So yeah, that's getting the information out. Like I said, I think we need to be careful. We're not supposed to promote. We're supposed to provide information, and so that becomes kind of a different deal. I would hope that there. I'm just really curious to see how this works. And the big issue on this is we have an election this year for board members. We haven't had that for a long time, so it doesn't cost us anything to throw it out there and see what we got. So.
How we advertise that?
We put it in 2 different newspapers, and we're going to, and we're also going to share it in Parent Square. There's 1,000, and at that point, I mean, any other groups and stuff like that, but that's a swath right there. So.
Did you get the email from the Western News about advertising?
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we can do that in the same way. I mean, I just seen what Kalispell did, and it just looks a lot like promoting. These, is what we need if we don't, da, 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 da. I don't, probably not a whole lot of mill levy policemen out there, but it is, you're supposed to not promote it, you're supposed to provide information.
Okay.
So
You.
what could go wrong if somebody went after him for that? Could you imagine? All right, next slide, I think, I don't know where we're at here now. Legislative summary, yippee skippy. I followed this more closely than I've ever followed it this year. There's an early literacy and numeracy bill that's coming through. It's going to provide more money for early literacy and numeracy. I'm not sure what the details are on that. H Bill 15, inflationary adjustment, that is an additional $100,000 that is going to be coming our way. And I guess I look at the money that's coming in is great, but again, it's an inflationary adjustment. And I think everybody's looking at this and saying schools have to take care of themselves and schools have to be able to pay people. So that is where that money is going. Let's see here, sixth grade, another issue. If sixth grade gets funded at high school levels, that would be great because right now it's not. HBIL 515, increasing major maintenance funding. And so that would be a great deal. It almost flies in the face of what's taking place with us. If we got that, and I guess if anybody asks, well, what would we do if we increase money on that? Well, I spend it on major maintenance issues and probably not run out of issues, not run out of needs. Even I think in terms of the parking lot at the high school, the asphalt is higher than the sidewalk. And that's just because it's been overlaid so many times and there's no way to patch it at this point. That's just, I mean, that's going to have to be taken out or ground down. So that's a lot of, I mean, that's just a lot of money, and that problem is not going to go away. It's going to become a larger and larger issue over the years. So yeah, major maintenance funding, yeah. House Bill 260, revised stipends for national board certification. I mean, there's other stuff. The mother of all pearls here is House Bill 252, the STARS Act. It is doubling the quality educator payment, which is basically $3,000 times 2, so it's $6,000 instead of $2,000. It works out to $240,000. So here's our $240,000, and here's our additional $100,000 in the H Bill 215. This is incredibly timely for our school district. There is just no way around this. We were down $31,000 from last year on our, and that's because a loss of student enrollment. So $31,000 is not a whole, $31,000 in the rears is not a whole lot of, there's not a lot of hope there for increasing salaries without the STARS Act and without House Bill 15. Put those together and it's a nice little package. And that is a chunk of money that is, without it, I think a lot of schools be in some serious trouble. If you read any of the news, there's a whole lot of schools across the state of Montana that are in financial dire straits. So this for us, in my mind, is a real big help. So any questions on, especially the STARS Act? The big key ingredient that cannot be misunderstood is that we have to have a signed memorandum of understanding with the collective bargaining group by May 15th. If that doesn't take place, we take it in the keister. Put bluntly. So it's gone at that point. And so there's been lots of miscommunication on that, as far as saying that you don't have to do that. Read the actual letters from Lou Jones, who was the person who put that out. If it's not signed and in by the 15th, and by the way, I don't think we should wait till the 15th to send it in.
No.
If we don't get that, that would be a travesty for our school system. So anyway, that is, I think there's.
Okay.
Thank you.
You all finished. Okay. So moving on to personnel. Resignation, retirement, reduction of force, and non-renewal. We have one teacher retiring. Super sad. But we'll just go ahead and take them all individually.
I move that we accept the resignation and the retirement of Mary Gear with sadness, but the resignation of Mary Gear, Darby Youngston, Micah Germany from 5th and 6th grade girls basketball, Bobby Gillespie, 5th and 6th grade football.
Second. I have a motion by BG and a second by Ellen to approve the resignation and retirements of those as listed. Do we have any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, 24-25 staff contracts. So unfortunately, we have no Libby Middle High School principal to hire at this point. Moving on to Carrie Teesberg. Is that temporary first grade? Okay. So a motion to hire her as a temporary.
We hired Carrie Teesberg as temporary first grade. What did you say?
Not first grade. It's not first grade. She's filling in for Mary Gear.
That's what she's first.
Right, that's
So first grade.
That is first.
Yeah. Gotcha. So I guess is Mary,
She has a health issue right now,
okay,
and so she's still on term sub. And
Okay.
she's there long enough to where you guys need to know where.
gotcha. Okay, because it said her
Temporary first.
retirement was the
Yeah.
5th, so of the 5th of June, so I just wanted to double.
There was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so I have a motion. I need a second, please.
Second.
I have a motion by BG and a second by Rob to approve the temporary long-term sub for first grade, Carrie Teesberg. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, we have Mr. Mills for our Libby Middle School volleyball coach for next year.
I make a motion that we accept Cooper Mills as the 2025-2026 LMS volleyball coach.
Second.
I have a motion by Rob and a second by Ellen to approve the hiring of Cooper Mills for Libby Middle School volleyball coach. Any questions or comments?
Wasn't he like a college volleyball player or something like that?
Yeah.
Really? That surprises, I love him, but that surprises me for some reason.
Yeah, he wouldn't stand a chance against me in volleyball.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Winter season coaches.
Madam Chairman, I move that we table this at this time till the next meeting.
Second.
I have a motion to table the winter season coaches by BG and a second by Rob. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Okay, those will be tabled till next month because they have to be hired in May. Okay, no old business. It seems weird not to see COVID on there. Okay, moving on to new business. Consideration to approve the fiscal year 24 audit report. We had no findings on that, correct? Zero findings, yay.
Stacy, has that ever happened? Zero?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I remember once at least.
Over the years. So there've been really
Yeah.
minor.
Yay.
audit has always been wonderful.
We got good people. Okay, so I need a motion to approve, please.
I don't move. Second.
I have a motion by Ellen and a second by BG to approve the fiscal year 24 audit report. Any questions or comments? Other than yay? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. Consideration of the Cabinet Mountain Co-op Memorandum of Understanding.
This is the same as it's been
Yeah.
before in the
attached.
past.
Yeah, it's not attached. No.
Okay.
I couldn't find it. Do you have it? I'm thinking it was, because I looked through Leslie's email. I couldn't find it.
It's not.
We
It's
don't
not
have to pass
included
it
in
here.
this.
Well, but there were no changes. It's
There were-
something we
yeah.
typically do,
Right,
correct? There were no
this is
changes
exactly
to
what
it? Okay. I think since it's on there, we're okay with approving it. Does anybody want to explain kind of what it is, just for clarification then?
The what?
Can
So
you-
It's special ed.
yeah, so the co-op, they actually, we're a half partner with them. And basically, the co-op gets funding from the state that doesn't cost us anything, but we get to use their services. Taylor Solomon is the co-op president. And she also serves as the special ed director for, I think, like Hot Springs, Knoxon, Thompson Falls, so some of the smaller schools. That's the co-op. And then they come up here like once a month. She comes up and Danielle help us with some of our other special needs. We were actually contracting our speech native pathologists through the co-op when we were doing the telehealth. We won't be doing that next year. So basically, the MOU was just the understanding that we're still working with them, so they can put us down on their paperwork saying that we're one of the schools that participate with them. So
Perfect.
again, Taylor has been she's a blessing. She's helped.
Good partnership.
Perfect.
So
Thank you. Okay, so I need a motion then, please.
I thought we had a motion.
No, we didn't.
Not yet.
Okay, I so move.
Second.
I have a motion by BG and a second by Rob to approve the Cabinet Mountain Co-op Memorandum of Understanding. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion by BG and a second by Ellen to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed.
Good job.
Have a good night, everybody.
That's Western
Steve, no,
Suburbs.